I believe. One of the first topics we talked about was that there was zero investment into River State in 2022. Now, the statistics does say that in 2023, we did attract a couple, I think one or two investments into the state. But now in 2024 thus far, according to the NBS, according to the data, that we have not attracted any investment. So we are also on that list. But then I'm wondering if the MOU signed by the River State government with the company on waste to wealth, I wonder if that doesn't come out as a foreign investment, or if the deal is yet to be to be concluded. I wonder, maybe the River State government will expatiate or explain further on that. However, we are on the list, and it brings us back to the conversation of the feeding bottle approach. It brings us back to the conversation that our states are not being creative with how to generate revenue, because at the end of the month, the commissioners of finance will meet in Abuja alongside the Minister of Finance and every other necessary authority, and they'll say, okay, this is how much is on the books, this is how we're sharing it. Maybe that's why Tinubu's tax reform is garnering the attention it is, because a lot of people are concerned about the sharing of our national wealth. Nobody is more concerned about the generation. After all, we could always go out borrowing. We could always take a loan. And when we don't take a loan, we praise ourselves for not taking a loan. So that's the conversation. And I'm wondering, what you make of this. Is this also a sign to, I don't know, how best we can make our society work economically, of course, how much we can still improve when it comes to being economically viable, how we can transform from a third world to a first world nation. I mean, does this give you the signal? Is this a signal to the fact that, hey, more things can be done? But basically, is this also a state of the economic health? I mean, if investors are not, investments did come, even though some people, let's quickly glance through the statistics and get your thoughts, basically, so it doesn't look like I'm just rapping and airing opinions and all of that. Looking at the story from the Daily Trust newspaper online, it says 32 states FCT record zero foreign investment in 2024. Now, according to the story, a total of 32 out of 36 states and the FCT attracted zero capital importation, that's foreign investment, in the first 9 months of 2024, up from 27 states in the whole of 2023. So I was trying to say it worsened in 2024 as compared to 2023. Now, according to the NBS, Nigeria's total capital importation for the third quarter of 2024 witnessed a 51.90% decline from the previous quarter, falling to $1.25 billion. Now, this drop compared to the $2.60 billion recorded in quarter 2 2024 highlights a sharp contraction in foreign investments despite an overall annual increase of 91.35% from quarter 3 of 2023. So what I'm saying is, could this be also a state of the health of our economy, given that overall we may have seen an increase, but when we look at it from a quarterly basis, from the first 3 months, then the second quarter, which is another 3 months, we see that there is a decline, and foreign investors are not much attracted to the Nigerian economy. Could that be what this is saying? So how do we in River State make River State very attractable, or is that a word? Should I say attractive now? Make it attractive for foreign investors, even local investors. What is it that we should redesign? I guess this whole political back and forth is having its bearing, is having its toll on the economic image and the economic value of River State. So it's time for us to rewrite the script. It's time for us to, redesign the arguments and the debate. And it's time for the political actors involved in all of these political dramas to ensure that they think Rivers first. Okay, let's quickly move to the second big story. And my second big story has got to do this time with Defection. I just talked about the political drama. And last week, you and I, we talked about it. 4 Labour Party House of Reps members and 1 PDP House of Reps member defected to the APC. And today, over the weekend, it's been talked about very much. And, the Labour Party are saying that they have started legal procedures to ensure that, what is rightfully theirs, because they are saying it belongs to the Labour Party. What is rightfully theirs, should be given to them. But the truth is, what will happen is that by-elections will be conducted if the court deems, that they have vacated their seats. Remember on Friday we argued, is it automatic? Is it not automatic? If it is automatic, why did the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, refuse to chase them away from plenary? So these are the arguments. Labour Party has started a process. But, what has made it to the big story today is that some member of the Labour Party, I believe, has come out to say more people will leave to the APC. I don't know if someone heard me. It's on Channels TV's website, www.channelstv.com, right? So there is the caption: several LP reps considering defection to APC, and this is coming from a lawmaker. Now, according to the article, a lawmaker, Etana Benedict, says many members of the House of Representatives under the Labour Party are considering pitching 10th with the ruling All Progressives Congress. Etana Bene, a member of the House of Representatives under the LP, said this in the wake of the defection of 4 members of the lawmaking body from his party to the APC. And I quote him as in there. He says, nobody believes that if you are elected to office, there is a time limit. And when the time comes, if the people want you again, you are re-elected. If they don't want you, you go. The lawmaker representing Okpe Sapele Uvwe Federal Constituency in Delta State said on Friday's edition of Channels Television Politics Today. And he went ahead to say it's about 2027. The trend of Edo and Ondo is frightening them, and they do not believe that they are strategically positioned to seek re-election under the umbrella of the Labour Party. That's the main reason. So people are already aligning and realigning for 2027. That's the first angle. And I do think we, the people, you, me, your neighbor, your colleague, the co-passenger in that taxi, should also begin to prepare ourselves for 2027 mentally, financially. We should begin to plan. How do we intend to vote? What ideals are we looking out for? Because when we begin to have these conversations early enough, it means that there is the possibility that the politicians may not take advantage of us like they have been over the years. And I'm not saying any of the governments have. I'm just saying over the years, it's a common understanding and belief system that the people have been taken advantage of. Anyways, my focus is, if more people defect to the APC, what then happens to the opposition? What then happens to our democracy? Can we still say it's healthy? Now, I'm not saying the APC is forcing opposition to join them, but like that lawmaker said, Etana Benedict, he has argued that these people are saying the only way they feel they've got a chance is if they join the ruling party. And that's from their personal perspective. That's from their, self-interest, and they are deciding to join the APC. And we know, that in the coming days, in the coming months, as we even go deeper into 2025, eventually when we enter, we're going to see more people from other opposition parties, including the PDP, where we see major internal strife happening. I mean, if you go to Imo State, Imo Gochere is facing his own ordeal. Remember the suspension and the withdrawal of the suspension, and what chairman suspends him, and then the spokesperson of the party comes and said the what chairman does not have the right, and quotes a section of the PDP constitution. So there's the back and the forth, and many people will leave the party eventually, and guess what, they will want to join the APC because that's the ruling party. And remember, Edo was won by the APC, Ondo was won by the APC, and these are off-cycle elections, right? So what then happens when there is the normal cycle election, the general election? So some politicians are already thinking. My question, I'm talking too much, but my question is, what happens to opposition in Nigeria? And I'm not asking you to tell me from a blame angle, or you blame the APC, and no, that's not what let's look at this strategically. Let's talk for development basically, and hopefully we can come up with a good solution eventually. All right, let's quickly now move to my third big story. Time is fast spent. It's the bottom of the hour, and my final big story has got to do with let's see, I wrote it down somewhere. It's still a national issue, and it's got to do with 2027, right? And there's the talk about who's going to run, if the APC will be able to win. Some people have come out to say, with the tax reform bills, Tinubu will not win a second term. With the sufferings Nigerians have had to go through, Tinubu will not win a second term. Some people have argued in that direction, and then the PDP is in the internal crisis the PDP finds itself, because there is the subtle fight, or should I say positioning, of members for 2027, people who want to be president, and I think it was Showomi who was talking, was it on channels, I can't remember, on the national TV, and he was asked about Atiku's ambition, and he said Atiku is yet to make it clear what his ambition is. There's also the talk of a merger between Obi and Atiku. There is that talk. However, it's really interesting, because the presidency has made a statement that has made it to my big story today. And the presidency, is arguing that Judge Akume is saying, see, the North cannot be president, or Northerners cannot be president in 2027. They can't be, because it's been zoned, and it's been zoned to the southern part of the country. However, I'm thinking, let's say Peter Obi comes out and Peter Obi is running for that office. Will Peter Obi agree to run for a one-term presidency? Let's, argue the issue of zoning, because unofficially, zoning has become a part of our, system in the country. And it's one reason why some people say Goodluck lost his second term bid. Others say it's another reason why Tinubu won and Atiku did not. So if that is the case, the question is, will a southerner, Peter Obi maybe, some people say Sheyi Makinde, whoever the names are, even the almighty Nyesom Wike, if they decide to, what's it called now, run for, will they agree to do a term? So it means that there is the chance that Tinubu will, according to the arguments of Akume, be president again in 2027, and the North cannot, according to his arguments. But let's read so it doesn't look like my words, right? the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, has asked northern political bigwigs warming up to contest the 2027 presidency to shelve their ambition and wait till 2031 when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would have completed the second term. So my question is, do you agree with these analysis, this postulation, these political calculations are going to be defecting? Do you think that these political calculations already being done would hold water come 2026-2027 electioneering season? And that's my conversation when we talk big stories for today. But just to drag you a little bit back towards the second big story, Labour Party issue. What does this also mean about political parties? Because Labour Party was touted to be the new sheriff in town, the best opposition in Africa, and it was supposed to ensure that the old order was pushed aside. Is that the case now? Or is it yet again the same politicians, different jerseys? Let's get your thoughts. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0002. Okay, WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. I called the call numbers again. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0007. Now WhatsApp once again, 0809 030 6416. Let's go to our first caller. Gift is calling from Yenagoa. Gift, welcome. Let's get your thoughts, please.
Yeah, man of the people, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Gift.
Let me totally align myself with George Akume, the SGF, Secretary to the Federation. The man have said it all. It is about North and South. That was why I let go of anything political party and supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu, voted for him wholeheartedly, and still defending him up till this moment. Who will go and allow North to thwart the 8 years of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Any other political party, including my own PDP, it will not work. The man will do his 2 terms, neat and clean, by the special grace of God who gives life. I'm not the giver of life. So everything I'm saying is as the premise of God Almighty. But in terms of the politics that will play, the permutation, Canada, look at the people at Defection. Then look at the states. Out of 5 states, PDP retained Bayelsa and 1. The rest, Imo State. You talk about Ondo State. Then you talk about the recent one. I think Ondo was the recent. Then Edo and one other state, Kogi. 4 states out of 5 was retained by ADC. And you know the power of incumbency from the presidency to the states. And somebody will be telling me that you will come from nowhere in the name of
gifts. What then happens to opposition? I mean, if what you've described is the real deal, what then happens to opposition? That's
opposition. They should play the opposition role now. My own leader, Iyerishi, played this role. At the end of the day, I remember one of the youth leaders in PDP that said something from Edo State that served under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. That young man said a striking thing. He said, Wike did everything within his power.
I've got to go.
Decided not to even attend meetings of federal government. At the end of the day, PDP paid him with you talk too much. You complain too much.
All right.
A man that was doing the beating of PDP.
I've got to go.
Spending money.
All right.
Sticking out his neck, everything.
All right. Thank you. Your time is up.
Typhoid, malaria, and cancer.
All right.
Today they are using those words against
All right. Thank you, Gifts. I've got to go. Clinton, welcome. What is on your mind? Let's talk.
Thank you, Kalada. Let's know this. The reason why Nigeria is one today is because we decided to zone it to the north and to the south. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu is from the south, and we believe that he is doing very well. And I think he will also complete his 8 years. If they not have anything to offer, they should wait till 2031, like George Akume has said. You mentioned people defect to APC, Canada. Look at the trend. Politics is a game of interest. If I feel my interests were well protected in APC, I will join the APC. That's the game. And so I don't blame those coming to the APC because they know that Mr. President is working seriously to put Nigeria back on track. You mentioned tax reform bills. See, that tax reform bill for me must be implemented because it will wake up all the governors to work. The redundancy is too much. Look at foreign investment. No foreign investment in about 32 states in the federal capital, in Nigeria rather. Very bad. So I think all our governors and stakeholders must go back and look inward. There is no state in Nigeria that doesn't have resources, mineral resources and human resources. They should look inward and look for ways that they can improve on what we have and bring more raw material so that foreign investment can come into the country and boost the economy of the country as a result of the state. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. We've got Fine Mind from Rumo Krusi. Fine Mind, welcome.
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Let me comment on your second story. That more LP representatives are going to actually come to the APC. It is where we find ourselves, my brother, in this country. They are all the same people, and they took advantage of the popularity of Peter Obi to achieve their political selfish ambition.
Fine mind. If you say they're all the same people, how sure are you that the Peter Obi that you've put up, that pedestal up there in the sky, is not same with them? Because they all flocked together during the election.
I used to, see him as a person that cannot, align with them. But how sure that he will not do it? So these guys are just the same people. I'm so disappointed when I heard of it. I was so disappointed. These are the people that people put their life, including myself, along the line to make sure that they became who they were. Today they defected because they felt that they have gotten, to the level that they should get. So they need to align for 2027. They are not concerned if what they were elected for, they have actually achieved it. So to me, my brother, we have a long way to go. Opposition in Nigeria is just because you are unable to get there. Nobody wants to endure to be an opposition in Nigeria. They are only interested about their personal interest. And I want to advise them, it's not going to be like this. Even if Peter Obi is elected and disappoints us, we are not going to lose hope because that is the only way we can, get our country right. Separation is not even the problem because if you separate, the same people that you have today as leaders are still going to find their way in and they are going to see cause problems. So we need to get it right. I don't see Peter Obi as a god because as a human being, he may disappoint. If these guys that came up and told us sort of things, we supported them and everything, and at the end of the day, they still do the same thing. That shows that even Peter Obi may disappoint us. So that is why we find ourselves today.
All right, thank you.
Must rise up.
All right, thank you very much.
Rise up and make sure that they pay.
All right, thank you very much.
They disappoint and they betray.
Okay, fine, mind, I've got to go. But then again, it brings us back to that conversation. Are the leaders not a reflection of the people? Are the leaders not a reflection of you and I? It brings us back to that conversation. It brings us really, back to the conversation because, we see these representatives, especially, the one who was seen as a grassroots representative. I'm trying to remember the state now. It was tagged or termed the Okada rider representative. Anyway, let's go to Isaiah, who's calling me from Buguma. Yeah, welcome.
You see, yes, the problem in this country, even if you make somebody of 30 in his early 30s,
okay,
governor, president,
all of the above,
the person will quickly begin to see gray hair, white hairs on him because of the problem that is very much in this country. But however, I think we will still need such a person to come, because these analogs is really a problem. When somebody is, there is a time for everything. When somebody is off the time of leadership of such a magnitude to become a president in a very weak stage, in a very older stage, I think is a problem. That is where we are having it wrong. You know, you remember the case of this man from one of the foreign countries who at the point allegation that he wants to make is equipping his son to take over. At the end of the day, he was finally pushed. He stayed in office for almost 40 years or something or more than. I don't want to call names on air, but you can see at that age, the leadership becomes a problem.
All right.
So I think come 2027, if the Northerners, see, we don't need, one thing I know about the North is that they are powerful to the point that it is anywhere they swing into in their majority clinches that higher position in this country. So if anything happens to be that they take side in their majority states, pinch their tent with even a PDP presidential candidate or whoever, my brother, that is the way. Before Buhari won election, the signs were there.
All right, Isaiah, I've got to go.
You begin to see that this man will win.
Okay.
Stampede is taking life.
All right. Isaiah, I've got to go. I've got to go. Thank you very much. Let's stay within our 2-minute bracket. Edwin from MO, I missed that call. Please do call back and let's talk. The phone lines are still very much open. Do call in and let's get your thoughts. But while I'm waiting for your thoughts to come in via the phone line, let's read messages from people who have sent them. This one says, please advise. Is this for me? Yeah, you can use my name. Say, please advise people never and should not dare bring God into Nigeria's dirty politics. Why would someone say we will serve, someone say someone will serve his 2 terms fair and clean? Is it God that will make him rule 2 terms, or what he did in his first? Look at how Nigeria was before this current administration came into power and how Nigeria is now, and someone is involving God into Nigerian politics. Are we okay? And that's from TK with that one. And this one says, 2027 presidency race, Peter Obi is going nowhere. He's no different from others. Mr. Wike, FCT minister, should settle with governors in the life. But he said there is a reason why Wariboko BG. All right, Wariboko, you would have shared your reason with us. This one says, what is important now is for opposition parties to push for an electoral reform bill. National Assembly should authenticate constitutional provision for electronic transmission of results and display some on viewing portals. Look how opposition parties win American and Ghanaian elections consequent upon sound electoral system. Victor texting from Egbema. Bright is calling from Umodumaya. Bright, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear.
Thank you, Kalada. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Let's talk about Northerners producing a presidency 2027. I think it's laughable because the original person that is supposed to be there is Satanas. That was why,
I'm listening to you. I'm listening, Bright.
That was why when Ian Wike was fighting for it in PDP, they were laughing at him. They even gang up to make sure he failed primary. George Akume has just said the truth. And the Northerners will also understand that Tinubu must complete his second tenure. After Tinubu's tenure, any other person can come from the north. And in fact, nobody will want to contest and to rule for 4 years. So that's the thing. They are coming to the opposition. Are we playing opposition when we know that it's not the people that vote us in? We find that way. Everybody is hungry. We are looking for ways to amass wealth. So opposition, I don't think that one will be possible. Whenever the ruling party, wants anybody, they can buy the person off from the other minority party to come into the ruling party, so that you retain your position whenever election will come up.
Right.
So that is the only way. For position is not sacrosanct. Anything can happen to a position. Even Obi himself, many people will not follow Obi to go back to any other party.
All right.
Obi and Atiku have tried it to win. They were unable to win. So every other party needs the structure of EMWK without change.
That's entirely your opinion, but thank you nonetheless. I've got Godspar from Iche. Godspar, welcome. What is on your mind?
Yeah, Canada, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. 4 or 5 Labour Party defected to APC
Yeah.
from the Federal House.
That was last week, yeah.
Yes.
Four of them.
And it will be a case study so that we will look at how they are going to treat those people, whether they will order for INEC, will order for a run election to fill their vacant position, or they are going to be there. From the story I hear, they stayed in the house, nobody walked them out. If they stay, those who defected, they will stay. If they don't stay, those that defected in Rivers, according to them, after the death, will also not stay.
That's left for the courts to decide. I mean, it's...
not the court to decide. That's what I'm saying now.
Okay.
I think court's supposed to also come up this one, or they're going to use it according to their party, that these people defected. Actually, they have made a pronunciation that they have defected from Labour Party to FDC. What will be their fate now? I'm not talking of the judiciary or court. What is their fate? Are they going to retain their seat? And that is sitting on the red chamber or the lower chamber? And nobody is talking about anything. That's it. And those to legislate. Nigerians are, I don't know the system, the political arena we are playing. If they stay there, it will set a wrong signal. But if they don't stay, it will see that anybody that defects automatically loses his seat. If it is that one. Thank you, God bless you. And again, and nobody, whether it's coming from here or Jupiter, will make Buhari not to be there next 4 years.
Is it Buhari you're talking about, Tinubu? All right, I've got to go. All right, thank you. I've got to go. I don't have much time. I'm going to quickly listen to Frank and then Robin after. Frank from D-Line, quickly. What is on your mind?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Batobo.
Yeah, greetings to you, Frank.
Yes. Let me go straight to the Judge Akume's comment. Yeah, I totally agree with Judge Akume, because when General Muhammad Buhari wanted to go second tenor in 2019, all Northerners contested, no Southerners run against Buhari. So this time around, let also the Southerners run against Tinubu. Then, for the issue of investors coming in Canada, you know that the problem is River State now. The crisis cannot allow investors to come and invest here because they don't know what will happen next. So I don't blame any investors. I blame the people, the political leaders in the states that are struggling to keep River State.
All right. I can hear you. All right, I've got to go.
So that's my own contribution.
All right, thank you.
For Labour Party,
quickly,
they should allow those people to go because there is scarcity in Labour Party right now. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you, Frank. I've got Robin from Iche. Robin, welcome. Robin, what is on your mind?
Thank you, Kalada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Robin.
Yes, on the issue of direct investment, River State is mentioned by MPS as one of the states that has shortfall. It's very obvious. The world is a global village where you know what is going on in America now, you want to know, you know. So all those protests orchestrated by those who felt the table have turned. It's a known fact there now. The bomb scare at Presidential Hotel and all that. So it's very unfortunate. You are seeing the result. Having said so, but I know it's going to improve from next year. On the issue of South and North presidency, 227 and all that, Canada, are you aware that there is a spate of ways in Africa? That the recently concluded election in Ghana on Saturday has been the fifth country in Africa wherein opposition party has won election.
Is that in West Africa? Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't think it's the first. I don't think.
So the land of Somalia and other Google.
I don't think it's the first. I don't think it's the first, really. I'm not going.
Oh, I'm saying recent time.
I said in recent time. I don't think it's the first. I'm giving you statistics as well. I just can't remember.
It's not the first, but I'm telling you the recent time.
I'm saying in recent times, yet again, African countries. Ghana is not the first. Once again, in Africa, Ghana is not the first where opposition won elections. So let's say it as it is.
I've never told you that Ghana is the first.
I'm saying okay, maybe if you say it happened on Saturday, but in recent times in Africa, I can call like two countries where recent elections, very recent elections, the incumbent lost and opposition won.
That is what I'm telling you now. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my! And I'm saying.
It does happen. Opposition. So if somebody
I am saying it's not.
Is the current president. Therefore, he must finish the 4 years.
So,
that is a fact.
So in Liberia, George Weah recently lost his elections in recent time to an opposition party in is it Zambia or Gambia? I can't remember now. Where Chukawera is. Chukawera was opposition and he won into recent times as well. So you can't say Ghana is. Okay, all right, okay.
So it's possible that President Tinubu can lose election 227.
Okay, now I get you.
It's everywhere in Nigeria.
Now I get you.
That is my take.
Okay, I understand you now. All right, thank you very much. Let's come here. This one says, KD, we're seeing opposition parties defeating incumbent parties voter these days. Trump just won back in America after he was defeated, and John Dramani just won back in Ghana after he was defeated. So will Goodluck Jonathan win back in Nigeria after he was defeated? With that, Jonathan would have completed his 2 terms and the South would have completed his 8 years term instead of Tinubu's hardships of T-Pain, John. And that's an argument. That's a postulation we should take into consideration, right? But this one says it is unfortunate that those Labour Party lawmakers whose Peter Obi popularity helped in winning election and now dumping the party after taking an advantage of Peter Obi to win election. Too bad. Christian William from Igboiche. This one says there are 2 key issues here. 1, more people will move to the APC. What that means to me is that APC will soon end its reign. If not in 2027, it will be in 2031. 2, President Tinubu will win 2027. The North will take power in 2031. The president is cleaning a very polarized system. My concern will be what happens after 2027. For me, he got my vote in view. All right, he has your vote, you say. But let's come here. He said Roger Sokabe from Orabali, Bola Tinubu under APC will win 2027. All right. This was just in the words of the LP leadership, the Campese lawmakers are to lose their seats in legislature. The leadership on their way to court. I completely support their position. Those legislators should save themselves the embarrassment of court sacking them. I stand with the leadership of Labour Party, Ima Otaka and Choba. But what if they go to court and it's not like that? Have you thought about it? But this one says the statistics on foreign investment does it mean the investment that the state government attracted directly? Is that the federal government has foreign investments and state has foreign investment, meaning all the foreign investments in Nigeria? Where it was it the federal government leased tech from we was asking? No, states also attract foreign investments, so it is calculated in that way as well. This one says Melody Uniport, I'm almost angry with the former Okada rider who rode on the back of the Obedient, who rode on the back of the Obedient Love to defeat a former minority leader against all odds. There is remedy for the people because our constitution envisage a situation where the speaker will compromise his duty of declaring seats vacant. There is a case law already in Ondo and Cross River State where the Supreme Court defined the conditions for defection. The case should be followed to Supreme Court. Enough of all these taking the people for granted. These lazy and greedy politicians should be punished with votes in the next 2027 election. If people do not stand to bill LP, will they have had a platform to come to limelight? Someone is asking. But this one says Rivers State couldn't have attracted foreign direct investment in the face of daily political uncertainties and the withholding of state allocations. Now, LP legislators could move for personal interests since their party has been docile in opposition politics. Now, Senator Akume was right because the APC has crippled all opposition using its members. The 2027 is a cake ride to Asa Rock except any divine intervention. It is beyond North and South gimmick. I mean, for Ernest Potaka with that one. And this one says our northern brothers should relax because come 2027, the South will still produce the president of our nation, Fidelis Iai Elemua. And finally, good day, Mr. K. Batsabo. 4 Labour Party rep members and 1 PDP rep member defected to the APC, while cross-carpeting to other political parties is allowed with cogent reasons. Nobody should compare the defection that happened in River State without a division. Their plan was to cross-carpet the APC and serve Governor for an impeachment notice, but all of that failed. All right, on other Clinton West, whether it failed or not, defection is defection. If you can argue it, then you may not lose your seat. But I've got to go. It's time for the business update. Do stay tuned.